Good day everyone, my name is Usifu Anata and today I'm going to be showing you a way around Blender. So this tutorial is actually made for people that have no experience at all inside Blender. Maybe you're opening Blender for the first time. This is what you're going to be seeing. Something like a default cube, then light and camera. So when I press 0 on my tab, it's going to snap to the default cube because that's what it's looking at. For example, I want to change my where my camera is looking at. I can just play with. Just press your N key on your laptop. You can play with the Z, play with the Y, just do whatever you want. So first of all, I'm using my trackpad to rotate. If you're using a mouse, that's fine. But if you are also a trackpad user, just go to your preference, go to your input, and emulate 3 button mouse. Once I've done that, save and load. So I'm going to be showing you guys about edit mode first before at the beginning I just need to learn how to use edit mode, object mode, maybe a little bit about sculpt mode because that is going to really help you on a long way. So first of all, I'm going to show you something. So this is our default cube and yeah, this cursor, let me show you what this cursor does at this left hand side. If I place it here, once I've selected that cursor, anywhere I click in this word, the cursor is going to move there. So if I click here, then the cursor changes. So right now, I can shift S and you're going to see different stuff here. If I just set selection to cursor, anything I'm selecting will go to that cursor. Okay, let's press shift S, cursor toward origin. The cursor is back at the middle of our thing. So right now, if we just press shift S, cursor to selection. Sorry, selection to cursor, our box is back at the middle. That's what it's mainly used for. Why the move to just is the same thing with the G on your keyboard. So this same thing that happened, you can do it with you can do it with G, X, B, Z. So yeah, just shift S, selection to cursor, and we can also rotate. Everything I'm doing here, you can also perfect it with your key on your keyboard because me I mainly use my keyboard. People don't really use stuff around. So just turn around. But if I want to turn on my keyboard, I can just press arrow D and turn it straight. Yeah, I think that's the useful. You can use this for scaling. For example, when you scale this box to get a house shape, here this. But if you want all the cells to be equal, click N and click the scaling is. I'm going to put X3, Y3, sorry about that, and Z3, and everything is the same. So just Control Z, and that will be what I want to share for object mode. So let's move now to edit mode. Let's see how things work now in edit mode. Go to edit mode and yeah. So in this edit mode, we have what we call the vector select, the edge select, and the face select. So let's take a look at the vector select. Here the vector select, we can move around with this vector select, Ctrl Z, and here's the edge. Just pick any sharp edge, and you can also do the same. Just move around to get what you want. I'm sorry about this notification that's keep popping on my screen. Yeah, and when you are using edit mode, you are going to be losing a lot of stuff, but mainly face. We have a cube here. For example, we want something like this cube to have a shape. Let me tell you guys something. So when you're modeling, before you start, you need to bring in a shape that is very close to what you're doing. And this cube is very close to modeling a house. So and the house always has much weight on the X. And yeah, so if I select this upper face, there's what we call loop cut. Select loop cut and give it a loop cut at the middle. Yeah, go back to selection box. Now, right now we can switch from face to edge select. I'm going to edge select this up and B, Z, and yeah, take a look at it. It's already looking like a house. Just select the roof and do your thing. So yeah, that's what edit mode is really is for. Just do stuff around. Let me introduce you guys to some little add-ons I'm going to use. If I ask, what have you noticed about, or let's say, what have you noticed about every object you have ever come across in real life? Yes, real life. There's no objects as sharp as this in anywhere except knife and razor blade. What do you research? Pillar are not sharp like this cube edge. So while creating 3D, we need to bring in reality into 3D. And you can't create a game environment and the edges are sharp like this. The user are going to, the game player, I mean, they are going to know what. So there's this modifier. Yes, there's a modifier we call bevel modifier. Here it is. So you can see. But no, is too, yeah, okay, let's just put the segment and the amount. Yeah, hope you can see it now. It's no longer sharp again, it's just smooth. Right click and shade smooth, and yeah, here we have it. And I think this is cool. But if you want to add an object, if I press 0 now and snap it, if you want to add an object, shift A, there's a lot here, but I'm really going to be working with mesh, light, camera, those three. Yeah, I think I like this. So one thing about modifiers is, for example, if you are going to make changes, I will advise you, do not apply it, leave it like that. Maybe when you are done, you say, okay, I'm not making any changes again. You can just leave it like that, or you can apply it. But me, I don't apply my own normally because I always like to tweak stuff. So maybe when I'm done with the C, I'll say, okay, I'm not satisfied with that one. Let me just change a little bit. If you apply it, you can't go back. Only if you want to Ctrl Z and delete everything you have been working on just to change one pillar. No, it shouldn't be like that. So don't apply it. Yes. Okay, let me show you another modifier. This is what we call the array modifier. Cut something. Shift D, sorry. Shift D X1, that's 2 cube, Shift D Y3, Shift D X again. How many cube we have? We have 4 cube. Ask, what do we, let me say we spent about 3 seconds getting that 4 cube. Watch this. Let me delete everything. I deleted the 4 cube. Select just one cube, array modifier. Here's our array modifier. We have just one cube. We spent 3 seconds creating 4 cube and watch. But we spent less than 3 seconds creating 20 cubes right now with the array modifier. Anything we do to the main cube is going to affect everything. That is why I like it very much. So we can even control where we want our cube to go, how far we want it to be. You get? So array modifier is pretty awesome. I'll just give it 10 so I can see everything I'm working on closely. Awesome, we can take it on the y axis. So right now it's looking more like a step. So I think Blender is a very good open source software. Okay, let's take it down. Okay, take it down, take it down, take it down, take it down. Yeah, right now it's just looking like a step one climb, and I think I like it. So let's just get rid of the array modifier and let's check on that one. Okay. Recently, I was working on a FIFA street football page and I noticed it has net around it. I asked myself, instead of me using another method to create it, why don't I try what we call wireframe in Blender, wireframe modifier. So right now I'm going to take, no, I'll just use the keyboard away. Add a plane, and let me show you something. If I add a big plane, I will have just 4 edge, and the wireframe modifier detects those 4 edge. And now how many edge we have? We just have 4 edge for our modifier. And no, I don't think a street football net is like that. So let's go with subdivide here. When you are creating a model, you need to subdivide. For example, now when you can select different face, we have 4 face in one plane. So you just need to subdivide, do stuff around. So confusing, but me, I'm not modeling, just showing you where I'm Blender and so modify. So let's subdivide by Let's subdivide by 10. Let's see how it's going to be if we can use to make a net. Okay, let's just make it 15. No, sorry, 20. Let's tab out right now. When we tab out, let's add our wireframe modifier. And yet it's looking more like a net, but it's too sharp and too big to make the net small. And yeah, it's looking small and this is too sharp. If it's the real world and you put your hand there, you might just get caught or something. I told you before at the beginning of the tutorial, we use bevel modifier for this kind of stuff. When we add a bevel modifier, and now you see you can actually rest your hand here in the real world. Yes, so that's what wireframe modifier does. And yeah, delete this, and I'm just going to G, then break it. Instead of us control it, I can use Shift S to selection to cursor. Sorry. Which other modifier do I need to show you? Okay, I'm going to show you guys two more modifiers. One is very important, and I think the other one is important. So let's just move. No, let's not move it. So I want to add another. Oh, sorry. Okay, G, bring it front. So this is on that cube. For example, I'm making a house and I want a door. Instead of me, selecting this face, inserting it, then start play around with the scale, blah 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 blah, doing those stuff. So right now, if I select it and X and delete pieces, I have a door here. Yeah, just like a modern door. This is EV mode. Blender has different type of front energy. I'm going to tell you more about that. So this is a door. This is a door right now. But instead of me doing that, why don't I just I will use the volume modifier side. So okay, let's try something cool. Let's move this to the house. And let's just make it a door. Let's say a door size. Let's make it a door size. Then take it down and click the main object and add modifiers. Add a volume modifier and the select the door. Yeah, I'll just this cube right now is our door. Once I select it and I click it and hide it, you're going to notice we have a door now. You notice, right? So I'm just going to open it back. I'm going to apply it, and if I delete the door, the cube is gone because it does not have a purpose there again. So we have something like this. We can just else and delete this face if we want to do instead. I think it's cool. We can't see the shadows because we're using EV. So EV is not very realistic. To get a very realistic scene with EV, you need to do a lot of lighting, but therefore you don't really need to do a lot of lighting. So right now, just turn ambient, blooms, screen space, reflection, motion blur, and yeah, we're not still getting the shadow. But check this out. Once you use EV, the shadow is dead. You are going to notice that place is very dark. Shift A and let's add a light in there, and there's a light in there now. So I want us to delete this light we are currently having here. Delete and 0 again. Let's reduce the word light for the thing. This is our word light, which we use to control the whole scene about the sky. So right now we're having different sky. I don't think we need that. Control Z, and I just want this to be 0.2. I don't want more value. I want the light inside this cube to have more control over the scene. And if we make it 200, and yeah, if you notice the light is not still coming out from the house, seems like it's just stuck in the door, and I don't like it like that. So let's go, let's make it area light. We can just switch it or make it area light. I think we can rotate it with this. Yeah, okay, shift A. If we add a plane, I'm 100% sure I want to be seeing it exactly. So take a look at how lightning works. Take a look at that. So lightning is so cool, so cool, and I like this. So we can see something like the noise right now. If you want to remove this noise you're seeing around, I'm just going to open shader. I like using a CPU. Since it's a small project, I want to make max sample 200, max sample 200, then turn on the noise. Yeah, easy. Stop once, start sample at 8. And yeah, so I showed you one of, you can just click toggle off this pause if you want to see your scene well. I showed you one of the last modifier. So one more modifier, then I think I'm done. One more modifier, I think I'm done. So if you want to watch more tutorials next year, I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff. And I'm going to show you guys how to use this solidify modifier right now. Okay, so first of all, we're going to be using a plane. Let's use this plane, this grand plane. I think that would be cool. Here's the solidifier. Just add search for solidify modifier, and yeah, here's the solidify modifier. And this is used to add more more thickness to an object. For example, once you increase the thickness, see, it's going down. This is a grand, so it doesn't matter as long as it's going the right way. But once you make it -1, it's going to wrong way. Let's just based on how you're saying it. Let's just make it like this. I think I'm okay with this. So anything at all. But one more thing, don't think because it has a lot of thickness you can select the other part. Nope, you can just select the face, this face, because normally it's not a cube. Use a modifier to make it look like a cube. And yeah, and I think on so with the little knowledge you have from this video, I think you should be able to kickstart in Blender.